In this video, you're going to learn how to configure the dial-up VPN in Hillstone firewall. The dial-up VPN is another configuration mode for hub-and-spoke VPN. The main difference between the traditional hub-and-spoke VPN and dial-up VPN is the number of the tunnels. In traditional hub-and-spoke VPN, each branch needs to establish a tunnel with the headquarters. So if there are 3 branches, there should be 3 tunnels in the headquarters. But with dial-up VPN, the central device has only one VPN tunnel established to allow multiple remote clients access to it through the VPN tunnel. And all the clients should be configured with same IK VPN setting with the sender to protect the data transmission. Meanwhile, the central device uses pre-shell key or certificate to authenticate the client and establishes VPN tunnel to communicate with the clients. Now let's take a look at the configurations in the firewalls. In this video, we will focus on the configuration part of the tunnel configuration, because the rest of configurations like the interface, the route, and the policy configuration is the same like what we did before. First, the central device. Before configuring the tunnel in the central device, we need to create the user information for each client. So in Object, Triple Server, create a new local Triple Server first. For example, dial-up. And then in Users, create new users for the new local server. You need to create user for each client. For example, the first one, user 1. And there is no need to specify the password. Just in the VPN option, dial-up VPN, choose FQDN, and then give it a FQDN for the VPN clients. For example, for the first one, the user 1 will give it the string Hillstone 1, and then click OK. Maybe for another user 2, we can give it a FQDN Hillstone 2. If you have multiple dial-up VPN clients, you should create a user information for each client. And now we could start to configure the IPsec tunnel. In Network, VPN, IPsec VPN. Click New. First, create the peer information. Check the Y interface, and in mode we should choose aggressive in dial-up VPN. And the type of the peer should be user group, and then check the Triple Server dial-up, which we have configured before. And there's no need to configure local ID and peer ID in the center device. Now check the proposal, for example the first one, and then configure the pre-shell key. We would use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 here. And this is a very important part in dial-up VPN. The pre-shell key used in center will not be the same used in the clients, and each client should have a different user key. The user key is generated here. You need to provide the IK ID of the client. For example, the user 1 is Hillstone 1. And the pre-shell key here is the pre-shell key we have configured before, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then click Generate. This generate results should be the pre-shell key used in device user 1. Copy and send to user 1. Click OK. Now, if you have lots of users, you should generate for them both. You should generate the user key for all of them. For example, Hillstone 2, click Generate. Hillstone 3, click Generate. Just like that. Now the phase 2 configuration. to dial up. Check the proposal. And for the proxy ID, we should use menu configuration in dial-up VPN. The local should be the local network, for example 192.168.0.0/24. And for the remote IP net mask, it's better to use 0.0.0.0 and /0 because there are lots of clients and there are lots of network segments. You can just use 0.0.0.0/0 to replace all of them. And then click OK. OK, the tunnel has been configured successfully. Now the rest configurations should be the tunnel interface configuration, the tunnel route configuration, and policy configuration. We will skip it in our video because it is just the same like what we did before. Now let's continue the configuration in the clients. For example, this one is the user 1 with IKE ID Hillstone 1. So in network, IPsec VPN, click new, and first the peer should be dial-up server, and the one interface, the mode should be also aggressive, and the tab is static IP. Then specify the IP of the remote server. The local ID should be FQDN, and for user 1 is Hillstone 1, and the peer ID is none. The proposal check the same as what we used in the center device. And then the pre-share key is a string we have received from the center. Then click OK. For the phase 2 configuration, to dial up server. The proposal, check the same one, and proxy ID. The local one for user 1 is 192.168.1.0/24, and the remote one is 192.168.0.0/24. Click Add, and then click OK. And the rest of the configurations would be the interface, the route, and the policy configuration. We will skip it. But for all the configurations, what we've done now, we can monitor the VPN status. Also, we would suggest you to enable the auto connect function in the phase 2 configuration. The VPN tunnel should be up after a few seconds. Okay, the tunnel has been established. We can check in both sides. In the center device, you can check in IPsec VPN monitor, DAP user, and then check the peer, DAP up. You can see the Hillstone one is up. And also in the clients, you can check it in IPsec VPN monitor. I checked the ASCAMP SA and IPsec SA is active. So the configuration is successful. Thank you for watching. Please visit kb.hillstonenet.com for more details in the document library.